Hello, welcome to Quackalope. Thank you for being here. Today I'm bringing you a solo gameplay of Earth from Inside Up Games, which is currently available over on Kickstarter at the moment. So follow the link in the top of the video description to take a look at this game. Now, why should you be interested in Earth? Well, it's a 1 to 5 player, competitive, solo, or cooperative game where you play as teams of 2 versus 2. The object of Earth is to manage your, various resources. Piles of cards, lots of growth tokens, dirt, compost, and much more that you'll find in order to build out and construct a tableau of Earth cards, an ecosystem, if you will, or a habitat or environment. You're trying to, score as many points as possible, and this game has a lot of point salad-like scoring objectives, where everything starts escalating into everything else, and at the end of the game, everything that you've done just needed to be done as efficient as possible in order to score you as much as possible. But really, you can go down any variable pathway in order to score, everything. This is a bit of a loose, open-ended game, meaning the better you get at it, the more you play, the more you'll see the pairs and the strategic nature behind everything. But if you just want to dive in, it is a lot of fun to explore, cycle through cards, and just see what crazy combinations you can come up with. Here in the solo mode, we're going to have an AI we're facing off against with their own driving endgame condition. But in the cooperative mode, one of the key features of Earth is going to be the simultaneous play, meaning the 40 to 60 minutes that it takes to play a game, you are engaged with and active every step of the way. Every single second of the gameplay, which for me is one of the most rewarding and fun elements of Earth. So, what are we doing here with solo mode? Well, in solo mode, I'm going to be playing very similar to how I'd play in competitive mode. Still building out my grid, still chaining and activating all my resources, still scoring in the same way. However, I am going up against this AI system, which actually has a name. That name is called Gaia. Gaia is going to be cycling through a deck of 6 action cards, and she will end up playing 12 total actions throughout the course of the game, and my job is to, beat her at her own turn. So I'll get 12 smaller actions, and I'll get 12 of my own actions if she drives endgame. I could still drive endgame by completing my tableau, but if she runs out of activation cards, she has completed hers. Now, she's going to score based on face-up cards here in her scoring pile, as if they've been played on her tableau, compost cards like normal, plant cards or shrubbery cards, and growth counters based on how many have grown, and she's going to have a reaction based on the actions that I take. But my actions are going to be very similar. Now, there is a beginner, expert, and medium mode in this game, and I think I'm going to go with hard. I'm not going to do expert, so I'm not triggering the extra effects on her cards, but I am going to play on this bottom row here instead of the top row, which might introduce a bit of a different challenge. I mean, honestly, I learned, I got the base underneath me, and then I was like, let's turn on the camera and go after hard mode. I'm not exactly sure just how hard mode's going to be, but if I win, you should all be very proud of me. So, Earth. First off, I'm going to start with a bit of flavor text, because I like flavor text, and when I play games solo, I enjoy reading it. Earth. The soil that supports and sustains our beautiful planet. Earth. Over thousands of years of evolution and adaptation, the flora and fauna of this unique planet have grown and developed into an amazing life form, creating symbiotic ecosystems and habitats. It is time to jump into these rich environments and create some amazing natural synergies that replicate, explorate on Earth's amazing versatility and plethora of natural resources. Create a self-supporting engine of growth, expansion, and supply where your unused plants become compost for future growth. Earth is an open-world engine builder for 1 to 5 players with simple rules but tons of strategic possibilities. With its encyclopedic nature of the enormous number of unique cards and combinations, every single game will allow you to discover new synergies and connections, just as our vast and fascinating world allows us to do. Okay, so we are starting the game. Now, I haven't even done my initial draft or initial setup, so I need to go ahead and shuffle these animal cards and figure out what objectives I'm going for. We have tigers, Tigers are looking for 4+ berry bush cards, which will score me 15 if I get there first. We have puffins, which are absolutely adorable. 10+ cards with an even numbered base leaf value. Okay, 0 counts as even. Interesting. I like it. We have chameleons, 4+ cards, each having 2 different ability colors. Okay, interesting. And we have Arctic terns, 3+ plants with a geographic term in their name. I wonder, do we have ducks in here? Okay, we're going to go with ducks instead of Arctic terns. 7+ cards, each with minus or with 2 or fewer habitats. Interesting. Okay, we are absolutely going to make sure we maximize our duck production. So, those are going to be the different animals that we're looking for. Now, ecosystem cards are just going to be for me to score. Or Gaia. Gaia is not going to be scoring the ecosystem cards. So let's see. Macmillan Park, ecosystem. 3 points for 2 cards for 2 cards, each containing or each costing 4+ dirt. Okay. We have Madagascar's humid canopy. 1 point for every 2 growth tokens, these tokens over here, on my tableau. And then, for my own board, we have the Amazon rainforest. 1 point per card in your, is this my recycle bin? Max 20. Wow, so I definitely want to do some stuff that allows me to recycle, because there's a lot of points in recycling for me. Now, I need to go ahead and select my climate and my islands. So once again, I'll shuffle these up, and let's see. I'm selecting Hawaii's island or Lombok Island. So, Lombok Island is 6 points at the end of the game. It does have 2 or fewer habitat, so I would be 1 closer to ducks. It does have 2 different ability colors. Okay, both of them do. But I don't know if these are considered abilities. I don't think the black starting resources are considered abilities, so we won't count that. And neither one of these have the option for okay, and both of them have even number points. Okay, so I could gain 5 cards, I would compost 1, and I'd gain 4 dirt, and then my ability would be a green ability, which is not too bad, 2+ growth for every water played this turn. Okay? And then the next card would be 5 cards, compost 2, 7 dirt, 2+ shrubs for every, let's see here, for every card I played, for every of that symbol I played this turn. I'm not exactly sure what that symbol is, but I'm sure it's on some of the cards. It's this one right here. It's the tropical climates. I think, though, I'm going to go for Lombok Islands. It has the 2nd highest volcano in all of Indonesia, rising to 3,726 meters. So, that is my action card I'm taking. And now my climate. I could take a dry winter subtropical highland climate, or I could take a tropical rainforest. And looking at these, it looks like most of these start with 2. So it looks like all of these start with 2 different climate type cards. So what I'm going to vote is that duck doesn't count for that, because then it would be 5+, I think. I'm not entirely sure about that, but that's how I'm going to play. Tropical rainforest. If I take the blue action, I get 2 cards if you choose the blue action. I like that because Gaia is going to get a benefit from me drawing cards, but only if it's on the yellow action. So that could, like, make me cut around her strategy a little bit, or I could -1 compost to gain 2 dirt. I think we're going right here for this. Tropical rainforest. They are usually found within 15 degrees from the equator and have at least 60 meters of rain each month. Wow. Okay. So, let's start playing. Set up my initial hand. 5 cards. Set this deck over here just so I can draw up from it, I guess. I need to compost only one, which isn't too bad. So, let's see what cards we have to potentially use. No immediate actions at the moment. And I get 4 dirt to start with. So I want to look at both the cost. So any of these cards I can play fairly easily. I am looking for cards with 2 or fewer habitats, which all 3 of these would work, but both of these extra scoring conditions would not. I'm looking for bushes, potentially. None of these are bushes. Cards having 2 different ability colors. This one would work, but these would not. 10 plus cards with even number scoring. So Basil is going to go off to the side. So really, I'm looking at potentially these 3. This isn't actually 2 colors because brown is just a condition. It's not a color. So let's see what our potential is here, because we're only composting one of these, and I think maybe we dump Basil for every 1 point for every 1 card in my compost. Putrefied Island. That's actually really great and pairs up really well with my Amazon Rainforest. So Basil is going to say goodbye. We're going to stick that in my compost deck, and we're going to keep all of these. Now, these aren't played down in my tableau. These are just cards here in my hand that I can use. So I'll keep them over here to the side so you guys can keep a eye on the cards in my hand. So that's my starting resources. Gaia doesn't start with anything, and now we're going to take my first initial action. So the question is, do I have what I need to go ahead and start playing cards down? Let's talk through these actions. Same conditions as in the main game. Draw 2 cards, take 4 cards, discard or keep 1. 5 dirt plus 2 compost, which is good for me. 6 growth plus 2 dirt. 4 cards plus 2 growth. But here's the problem. In the green action, your 3 discards are added to the scoring condition here. It's a lot of points. In the red action, plus 5 compost, which is 5 points, plus 1 compost for every 2 dirt I gained this turn. Again, that escalates. 3 growth cubes up here to the top, plus 1 growth cube of every blue I have on my tableau, and 3 growth cubes here, or 3 canopy cubes, plus 1 for every card gained by me this turn. Now I do have the blue ability, which I would be able to gain 4 dirt, and I would draw up 2 cards. And right now, she would gain 4 straight points. This is hard. I'm already like, I'm trying to be defensive against Gaia, but where can I use my cards and my resources the best? I think the blue action is going to be where I start. So I don't have any place to play growth counters, so that's going to convert immediately to dirt. So I'm going to get 4 dirt. Then I activate my blue, which is going to let me go ahead and draw 2 cards in my hand. We have the African Babalo, which is good. And we have the New Zealand Flax. Both of these cards work for chameleons. Neither of these cards work for chameleons. Both of these cards work for ducks, and both of these cards work for puffins. So it's a chance that these are the 2 conditions we go through. So I'll set these over to the side here. Honestly, I really want to build a petrified island. I don't know that I'm interested in building the extinct volcano. It doesn't help me as much. I think I would like the purple jelly and maybe the cochineal. It's expensive. I need something to start generating resources immediately. The African Babalo is nice, but I don't know that I need it, and it's fairly expensive with the amount of growth counters you need. So, that was my action. Gaia here is going to gain 3 cubes plus 1 for each of my blue abilities. So 4 cubes. And we're going to go ahead and flip a card for Gaia. So, plant. Plus 1 card Oh, that's my action. Plus 3 cards added to her scoring. So let's go ahead and see what she's getting. She is getting 0 points, 1 point, and 1 point. Amazing. I want that to be as low as possible. Then my action is I get to draw a card, and I get to play a card, and I get to activate green abilities. So I have 8 total value. I get the benefit of 2 growth counters for every water played this turn. So, my thought is let's go ahead and establish something that moves us forward on scoring and can take advantage of those. So, we're going to play this down. I'm going to do it just loosely here. Kukania. This is working towards both ducks and puffins. It does not work towards chameleons. It does not work towards tigers. It's going to gain 2 growth counters immediately because of my green ability here. And it has a wild ability, which costs me a shrub and a growth counter, but I get to compost a card and gain 2 dirt. So, not necessarily the best, but certainly not the worst. Then I get to draw up a card. Wetland. Wetland is decent. Let's see here. 2 points per any water in any one player's field includes my mountain. So this is when it includes these tableau cards. This is not terrible, especially if I'm going to be playing a lot of wetland cards, because I want to maximize my Limbuk Island ability. Okay, that is Gaia's turn. My turn. I need to pay the 2 dirt for planting that card down. So what do I need? Card draw is always nice, but I have to give Gaia I have to give Gaia points for every action I take, so I probably should not overthink this too much. The question is, what cards do I want to get down onto my tableau next? And specifically, how much composting and other actions do I want to do? I think I'm going to stick here with the blue action. I think I'm going to stick right here with the blue action. So I'm going to gain 3 onto this plant card. And then I gain 3 compost, or 3 dirt. Then I can take my blue actions, which is going to let me draw up 2 cards. I'm still kind of hunting for that combination that I want. I'm not getting any of the cards that I need. I'm just going to have to set tigers down to the side. Jalapeno will work for a few of them, and Sunflower will not. I think Sunflower is one of these cards that I could scrap without too much issue. But I don't hate Jalapeno. Okay, that was my blue action. Now I get to take my rainbow ability. I'm going to spend 1 of both my counters in order to go ahead and compost 1 card and gain 2 more dirt, because I want as much dirt as possible. We're going to go ahead and compost Sunflowers down here into my deck. Now, Gaia is going to gain 4 plant cubes, just like before, because I had 1 ability on my card, and I gained 3, and she gains 3 dirt no matter what. It's my action. Let's flip this over. Sprout. Here, Gaia is going to gain 7 cubes plus 1 for each of my blue. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I have 1 blue ability. So a pile, and that's just 7 points. Like I need to be working against. I need to be scoring more points every turn than what Gaia is currently generating. Now my ability: 2 cubes or 2 compost, activate blue and rainbow. So I'm going to take 2 compost, or not compost, 2 dirt. Activating blue lets me draw 2 cards, which is fantastic. I got edible Amaranth. Now this does have a odd scoring condition, so I don't know that this one is too important to me. This is an immediate action with a geyser that doesn't actually cost me any points, which is nice. Compost, lose 2 compost cards to draw 2 cards. But I'm trying to score from compost cards, so I'm not sure if that's actually great for me. So, I've done that ability. Now I have to do the rainbow ability. I'm going to spend both these growth counters to compost a card, which I'm going to go ahead and compost the edible amaranth and gain 2 dirt. Okay, back onto my turn, and I think I need to start getting some more cards into my tableau if I'm able to afford them. So I'm going to move over here to green, play 2 cards, draw 4 cards, keep 1 of them. And I think the cards I want to get down, +3 on any of the 8 adjacent plants. This purple jelly is very nice. So we're going to go ahead and play this. This is going to be 4 dirt to play it. It is going to gain me 2 growth counters, though, which is fantastic because it is a water-based one, or a rainy landscape. And the blue action here lets me spread growth even more effectively. Now I get a second card to play down if I'm able to. I currently have 5, 10, 11 that I could spend. Maybe the jalapenos? Give myself some card draw as well. Or the New Zealand flax would cost 8, -1 growth cube for potential card draw across the board. I think the New Zealand flax is going to be a little bit better. We're going to place it right here next to the purple jelly disc because it is going to benefit from the purple jelly disc. So that is going down here. That is going to cost me 8 for 8, leaving me 3. And right now I have 3 cards towards the puffins. Okay. Believe that's my action. I have to then draw 4 cards and choose which ones Gaia is going to get. So, let's see here. First off, what has the lowest amount of points? Cold Front, I have no problem giving her. Negative points turn into positive points for Gaia, so I thought there'd be a cool strategy where I just fill her deck with negative. It doesn't work like that. So I sort of want to give her this one as well. So, -4 points, spend 5 growth cubes and 5 shrubbery cubes and 4 growth cubes to get 5 dirt and draw 4 cards. Seems too costly. That is a very, very expensive card. But the Hardy Kiwi would be a blue action, which I'm liking right now, -2 compost to gain 4 growth cubes. I don't know that I love that either. I think I'm going to keep the Hardy Kiwi, though, and go ahead and stick 6 points into Gaia's scoring condition. There we have it. That's my action. Let's see what Gaia does. Gaia is playing the Grow ability. So Gaia is going to get 7 growth cubes, +1 for every card I get this turn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, capping this off, and 6, 7 is going to be 2 more. Okay, on my action, I am gaining +2 growth or draw 2 cards, but I benefit Gaia if I draw 2 cards. So I'm going to do the growth. Right there. Then I activate yellow and multicolor. I don't have any yellow abilities, but my multicolor ability here will spend a plant resource and a growth resource in order to go ahead and compost a card, which I'm going to go ahead and compost the Hardy Kiwi. And I'm going to gain 2 dirt for that. And then my next one here is going to be lose a growth cube to draw a card, which I'm not going to do. I don't have the growth cubes that I need, or the shrubbery cubes, but also I don't want Gaia to get any benefits from this action. Moving down, what action do I want to take? I can do everything. I can do nearly everything if I take the blue action. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Blue action is kind of becoming my powerhouse in this game. That's my thought. So I'm going to gain 6 growth. I'm going to gain 2 dirt. Then I'm going to start triggering my abilities. I draw 2 cards. See what we get. Red-capped Scaber Stalk. This is an odd victory point, so I don't know that I want to add it. I'm really going for the puffins, I think. And we have Wildfire. -4 victory points, but you lose 6 growth cubes and you draw 6 cards. That is very powerful. I'm going to keep that off to the side. I'm going to set this one up into the potential location for composting cards. Now let's start continuing to go through my deck. So, 3. So, one thing that I kind of want to check, because I remember we had a conversation about it when we were doing the gameplay, and it's the question for how you resolve your blue and rainbow in your tableau. If a card is if a card is activated, all costs must be paid in full. Okay. Abilities are activated after taking the matching actions. In addition, multicolored abilities, which are made up of blue, yellow, and red, are also triggered after the blue, yellow, and red actions. Okay, that's what I was thinking. So, here's the nice thing that I can keep in mind. My blue will trigger first, which 3 growth counters on any of the 8 adjacent plants, which means I can generate growth counters. And then I go up top here and I can remove a growth counter and or a shrubbery counter and a growth counter in order to compost a card and gain 2 dirt. We're going to get rid of that mushroom we just drew up. We're going to grab 2 dirt over into my pile here, and then down here remove a growth counter in order to go ahead and draw up 1 card. So we got oak moss. Double ability actions, which is what chameleons want, which is very nice. Does count towards puffins. Does it count towards ducks? It does count towards ducks. It just doesn't count toward tigers. So this is actually a great card. I'm going to leave this down here in my would appreciate building section. So that's my blue action. Now Gaia needs to go. 3 cubes plus 1 for each of my blue abilities. This is going to be 5 cubes added to her track, which is what I am working against. Okay, a little sip of tea. And Gaia is going to flip her card. South Pacific Gear. Choose either lower fauna objective and place 1 ribbon at Gaia's position. So, lower fauna. Gaia is going to score 15 points for the tiger, since I'm going for the puffin. Beginner, expert, I'm not playing either of those. Now, do I get no ability when Gaia takes that action? That's brutal. Very, very disappointing. Okay, so my action. I still like blue, but blue doesn't help me get cards in my tableau. The question is, do I have the money I need? It would be 4 total dirt for both these cards, and both these cards are good for me. Wildfire could draw me more. Putrefied Island, I haven't been able to compost as much as I'd like, but I still think that's worthwhile to get laid down. So I think I'm going to take the draw or the play card action. Going to spend 4 total dirt in order to play down jalapenos and oak moss. And I'm going to do this one here, and I'm going to do this one up in this area. Now, one thing that I'm trying to keep in mind too is matching up types of cards together, because there's a chance I'll get scoring objectives that want columns and rows specifically. So we will keep that in mind. I think this is going to be the top of my track here, and we're going to kind of expand out from there. So those 2 cards are going down. I also want to look at the abilities that'll trigger and the order that they will trigger. For instance, I might want this one higher. I do want this one next to this card to generate resource, so I might want this one down here because I want to be able to create stuff before I start spending stuff. And this counts towards chameleon. In both of these. So right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards towards puffins. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards towards ducks, so only 2 away from that, and 1 card towards chameleon. Then I'm going to draw up 4 cards, keeping 1, putting 3 into Gaia's position. And the thing again I'm looking for is going to be that initial point scoring. So for instance, Riverside is worth 7 points to Gaia, unless there's something that's perfect for me, which just off of first glance there isn't. I am keeping Riverside. I'm going to give Gaia the rest of the point scoring cards. Riverside, all leafy locations cost -1 dirt. Not terrible, but honestly, I've already played the majority of my leafy locations down. It is worth 7 victory points, though, for 1 dirt. That is actually a pretty good trade-off, but again, it's filling up your tableau. It's my action. Gaia is going to take an action. Compost. +2 dirt. For Gaia. +8 compost cards. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. +1 dirt per dirt I gained this turn. Now, for me, I could draw 2 dirt or compost 2 cards and activate red and wild abilities. So I am going to go ahead and compost 2 cards. So I want that compost action up a little bit. And then I'm going to activate my red abilities. Nothing on my tableau here. First red ability, spend 1 dirt to draw 2 cards. I will do that. Let's see what we get. Okay. We have the rainbow plant and the stinking corpse lily. Both of these will work. Rainbow plant, however, doesn't help me with the duck ability. It does have a lot of locations to play things down, but if I have to choose between the two for what I'm actually going to pay for, I think the stinking corpse lily is going to be the preferred one. After that, moving on down here, I do rainbow. So, remove 1 plant, 1 growth. Go ahead and compost 1 card. So we're going to compost the African Babala and gain 2 dirt. Moving on down, get rid of 1 shrubbery cube to draw 1 card. This card is the red mangrove. This does work towards all of my potential scoring objectives, so this is actually a pretty valuable card for me. And I need to pay attention to water when I play water. I've only played 2 so far, but that's something that I need to make sure I am keeping an eye on. And that is going to be my last activation. So that was the activation with Gaia, and Gaia is going to gain extra for compost that I gained this turn. So I gained 2, and I composted instead. So Gaia is going to gain 2 as well. And now it is my turn again. Now the question is, I know that Gaia has another card that's going to steal one of these top objectives from me. Am I able to complete either of them immediately? If I played down 2 more cards, Gaia would take chameleons from me, but I would be able to score ducks. Is that worth doing immediately? I think so. I think continuing to build out my tableau is a worthwhile feat. The question is, do I have the resource cost that I need to do that? And I'm not sure that I do. I could play the wildfire. I don't have the resource cost for the wildfire either. So I might just have to give chameleons to Gaia, lose 4 points there, but score it a little bit later. I'm going to go take the blue action. It's kind of my cornerstone. I'm avoiding the yellow action, so this is how I draw cards. Going to get 6 growth cubes this time. 4, 5, and 6. I then am going to gain 2 dirt. And I'm going to draw or activate my abilities. So draw 2 cards because of the tropical rainforest. I have a lake, lots of points here, and 5 points for diagonal mushrooms. So right now I have 1 mushroom on my board, and there's this would be where I'd need to play this in order to make that mushroom diagonal. I don't love it. I don't love it. Lava flow, -3 points. Compost 4 cards to draw, or lose 4 composted cards to draw 4 cards. I don't love either of these, honestly. I think both of these are going to go into my I don't mind composting pile. And we're going to scoot some of these other ones over just a touch. After that, I'm still going through my blue abilities. 3+ growth cubes on any of the 8 adjacent plants. So we're going to add 3 over here. Moving down, -1 growth cube to gain 2 dirt, which is fine for now. And then rainbow actions. I cannot pay the price for that top rainbow action. I could if I had not paid this one, and it would allow me to compost a card. So I will retroactively have done this top one instead of this bottom one, and the only change is that I get to add another card to my compost pile, which is a little bit more efficient. Moving down, -1 growth cube to draw 1 card. We're still looking for kind of what we want to build our tableau on. Earthquake, -2 trees in order to compost 5 cards. I actually like that a lot. And this is compost 5 cards from the deck, which is a different symbol, which is very, very nice. I think as soon as we have the cost for that, we're going to play that, because I want to get putrefied land, and I am scoring for the Amazon rainforest as well, which is a whole pile of points. That is going to be everything. We're on to Gaia's turn. And this last card, this last card is going to steal chameleons from me. Even though I was getting close, I didn't quite have time. So I'm going to take my action, and then Gaia's deck reshuffles, and we have 6 more rounds before Gaia closes off the game. So that means I need to start playing cards. Let's move over here. 2 card plays. I have a total of 5, 10 resources to spend. So 6 and 2 would be enough. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep my side actions here. I'm spending 8 of my resources, leaving me with 10. Let's go over here. And I'm putting down a red mangrove, and I'm putting down a stinking corpse lily. Now, the red mangrove does give me 2 growth tokens immediately because it's a liquid or a watery area. And what type is it? So I think we're going to establish it over here on this next lane. And then the stinking corpse lily is actually a berry bush, which is what we're looking for lions, but we're not too obsessed with them at the moment. So I'm trying to keep my tableau with a little bit of freedom. So let's do this. Let's do this down into the side here, because it is connected because it's next to the oak moss, but it's in its own little kind of habitat and column. And can you see this bottom card here? I think you can just barely see it. So I'm going to scoop this up a touch to make sure that you all can see my entire tableau. Okay, so I just played 2 cards. I paid for those 2 cards. I get 2 growth tokens because that's my green ability, which is very nice, which means I can go ahead and immediately play Earthquake, which is going to lose those 2 growth tokens, but I don't want to miss out on the opportunity, and it's going to compost 5 cards from the deck, which for me could be worth 3 points each if I'm able to get putrefied land down onto the table. After that, I'm going to go ahead and draw up 4 cards, and I have to choose what I'm giving to Gaia versus what I'm keeping for myself. So naturally, we're looking at points to start with. The best point economy would giving Gaia these, which means I would keep volcanic grounds. I don't know that I want volcanic grounds, though. Is there anything else here that does better for me? So let's look at the total cost, because I think I just got ducks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all with even abilities. So I'm going to go ahead and claim ducks. When it comes to puffins, I'm looking for 10 plus cards with an even number base value. So I am 3 away from that. Tigers, I am 3 away. And chameleons, I am 2 away. So are any of these multicolor? They're not. Are any of these bushes? They're not. Are any of these odds or evens? Okay. So the mountain fir moss or the lion's mane would work for me. I think I'm going to keep the lion's mane. I'm giving Gaia a few extra points here, but I think the lion's mane works better for me than the pasture does initially. So that's my action. Gaia is going to flip a card. Oh man, choose either the Loa fauna objective, place 1 on Gaia. Gaia is stealing puffins from me right as I was about to get it. Oh, Gaia has all of those top objectives. That is potentially not a good sign for me. Oh, okay, my action. I don't have much compost. I think I'm going to take the red action, which is going to go ahead and gain me 5 compost. I need to be able to start playing some valuable cards down. I'm going to also compost 2 cards from the deck, which is a good ability. The problem is Gaia is going to get a benefit from this as well. So resolving my red abilities. -1 dirt to draw 2 cards. That's why we played that. Get a little bit of card draw. We have a giant forest, which there's no way I'm building that. And we have the shiitake mushroom, which would be valuable and would go ahead and get some growth. So giant forest is going up here. Shiitake's going down there. Moving on down, -1 plant in order to draw 1 card. Like a little bit of card draw. Japanese Aerodema. This is actually a good card for me because it works towards the Tiger ability if I'm able to do it. Continuing down, we have -1 growth cube to gain 3 dirt. I think that is a worthwhile trade-off at the moment. And then back up to rainbow abilities. We have -1 growth, -1 big growth. I won't have the option to do that. Rainbow here, -1 shrubbery to draw 1 additional card. Let's continue filling our hand. We have the Vomiting Russula. This is good across the board for me, but not, I mean, it's kind of in the middle zone there. It's not great, but it's good across the board. That is going to be the last of my rainbow abilities here with Gaia. 5 compost plus 1 per dirt I gained this turn. So I gained 8 total dirt. So Gaia is getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 13 points. That action gave Gaia 13 points. Fantastic. Fan-freaking-tastic. That's bad. In case you don't know, that is bad for me. Okay, so let's continue. Gaia's turn, flipping a card for Gaia. Plant ability. 3 cards added straight to the point scoring here. See what Gaia gets. Only 4 points. Not too bad. And a set of banana trees, which Gaia is a big fan of. +1 card draw for me and +1 play ability for me. And then I activate my green ability. So I'm really looking to play a watery location. There's nothing I can score ahead of Gaia right now, although Gaia might take chameleons from me, and I just don't think I'm going to be competitive on that. So let's keep working towards some abilities that might benefit me. Let's go ahead and do the shiitake mushrooms. I'm going to play them. Where's my mushroom column? Kind of this one here, I think. So, kind of want to keep a pocket open though. I really should have had maybe this over here so I could close off my mushrooms, but I didn't do that. So I'm going to go ahead and play this mushroom up here in the top row. This is going to, because it is liquid, going to go ahead and gain me 2 growth counters. I'll place them right here. And do we have 10 cards yet? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the next action that I take could get that established. I have to pay 7 dirt, however, for the mushroom, which does feel a little bit expensive. It generates me dirt back, which is a good system to have, but it might be kind of an early game system. I'm worried that I don't have an engine up and running well enough to kind of beat Gaia at her own game. Either way, I've played that card. I'm then going to get to draw a card, and I already activated my green ability, which gained me some growth tokens. Air Diasol. All bushes cost 2 less. Good if I had any bushes to utilize. Okay. From that point, it's going to be my action. And I think my action, I kind of want to stay and gain more dirt. But if I stay on this action and I gain dirt, I'm going to suffer the consequence because Gaia gets a major benefit off of that. But she gets a major benefit off of most of the actions that I do. I have a 0-cost card here, which doesn't necessarily help me. I think I have enough for the ducks. I do. I already have ducks. And I don't have enough for the puffins, and I don't have enough for either of the other ones. Okay. I can't plant, so the question is, do I get as much dirt as possible? Oh, Gaia would actually have 4 less compost cards because it's for every 2 dirt. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust that because I think our score is going to be close. I am going to stay here. I'm going to stay here on red. I'm going to gain 5 dirt to start with. I'm going to be able to compost 2 cards from this deck into my compost pile. I then get to activate my red ability. So starting up here at the top, 1 plant leaves for 3 dirt. So I need to keep track of how much dirt Gaia is going to get benefited from. -1 dirt to gain 2 cards. Tsunami, -5 growth for 6 card draw. And the milk cap mushroom, which is going to be a yellow of 2+. I don't think both of those are the best for me. Moving on down, -1 growth to draw another card. We have the luxuriant woodland, which is a 5 card draw. Not terrible, but a little bit more expensive. And we have -1 growth for 3 more dirt. I think I am going to do that as well. So total dirt, we're looking at 3, 6, 9, 10. So Gaia is going to gain 10 total cards into the compost because it's 5 plus half, rounded down. So make sure that this is 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 into the compost here. But now I have enough dirt. Hopefully. Flipping a card, Gaia is going to go ahead and claim Ducks Unlimited. So that means Gaia's scoring those no matter what. So, I have 10, 12. I need 13 to play down Putrefied Land. So, what else can I activate to get me closer to where I need to be for that? I think I'm going to take my blue action. It's been a little while, but I'm going to take that. That's going to be 6 growth cubes, which we can play down 3, 4, 5, 6. That is going to be 2 dirt. And we activate our blue. So 2 card draw here. We have the coral fungus. It's okay. We have the volcano, which is going to score me for red abilities. I don't hate either one, but I think they're too expensive for me to really utilize. And blue actions. +3 to either of the adjacent 8. So 3 over here. Take 1 out of my compost to draw a card. I'm not going to do that. Lose 1 growth to gain 2 dirt. I am going to go ahead and do that. A tree falls over in the woods. Back up here to our multicolor abilities. Lose 1 growth and 1 plant in order to compost 1 card from our hand and gain 2 dirt. Moving on down. Lose 1 to draw 1 card. This time I will take that action. With the Flora Strangler, this is a very high tree if we wanted to do it. I don't know that it benefits us. It's not terrible, but I don't know if it benefits us enough. I'll keep it kind of in the middle zone, though. That is the last of our rainbow abilities. Gaia is going to gain 3 growth plus 1 for each of my blue. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 4 up here, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that is my action. Gaia is going to take her turn. Sprout, 7 growth cubes plus 1 for each of mine. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 7 is going to be 11 new growth cubes. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Now I take my ability, +2 growth cubes or +2 dirt, activate blue, activate multicolor. I don't need the growth cubes, I think. I think the dirt is a little bit more valuable for me. And activating blue. Draw 2 cards. So Badlands, 3 points for every berry bush in this row. So this going down here might be able to score me 9 points total. And Red Birch. Red Birch is a dual land. I think both of these are very good. Continuing over, 3+ growth on either of the adjacent 8. Down, remove a compost. I'm not going to do that. Remove a tree. I cannot do that. Multicolor I cannot do. Multicolor I can do for a card draw. Permafrost, 1 point per card costing 3 dirt or less. Right now that would score me 1, 2, 3, 4 points. I don't hate it, but I don't think I have room or time to build that. Moving on over, we're going to go ahead and take a growth action. Play 2 cards, draw 4 cards, keep 1. I already established I want putrefied land, so I think I'm going to go ahead and focus on that. There's going to be 3, 6, 9, 10, 13, which is going to leave me with, looks like 7 resource left. I'm going to place down the putrefied land over here in this corner. Now, this does get me 2 growth counters because it is a wet region. Now I have 1 more play action. I like the idea of playing down Badlands for the berry bushes. I also don't mind the aerosol because it makes things cost less, but honestly, I'm not going to be able to benefit from that. It's a little bit too late in the game. The red birch would get me closer to... Red birch would get me closer to 2 of the objectives. I think I'm going to play down the red birch. I'm going to play it right here in this row. Okay. Cost me 2. But most important, it is almost the chameleon, and it doesn't get me closer to the puffins. And it doesn't get me closer to the lion. It just gets me closer to the chameleon. I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more cards down of even value, and I would have the puffins completed. So next turn, it might be where I need to go ahead and purchase those last 2 cards. So draw 4. Going to be giving some to Gaia. 0-point card to Gaia, 0-point card to Gaia, 0-point card to Gaia. I'm keeping the fly Agaria. This could close off my chameleon, but it's not going to be good for my puffins, and I don't think I'm going to score the tigers, but I might be able to get 11 points on puffins and chameleons. So, second to last card, we have a grow action from Gaia, so 7 of these trees. So, this one wants 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 5, 6, 7. Plus 1 for every card I draw this turn. So I'm not going to draw cards then. I'm instead going to take growth counters. I then activate my yellow and my multicolor abilities. So yellow abilities are just going to be this: lose a cube for 2 compost, 2 dirt, which I like. Then the multicolor could spend a growth and a cube to compost a card and gain 2 dirt. I think that is worthwhile for me because how valuable composting cards are. Moving on down, -1 cube to draw a card. I don't think I'm going to do that right now. We're too close to endgame to make the most of that. -1 cube to gain 2 dirt, however, is something that I'm interested in because I don't want to do the math on how much dirt I need, but I assume I need dirt. Okay, I did not draw any cards. Taking my green action again. With this green action, I need to get 2 even number cards established on the tableau. So what I'm thinking is either the Badlands or the Lion's Mane. Lion's Mane is just going to be a mushroom. Doesn't actually score me a lot. Florida Strangler and the Badlands possibly seem like the best option. So Badlands is actually going to pop here. This is going to get me a benefit, and it's liquid, so I actually am going to gain 2 growth counters because of that. And I think I want to put the growth counters on this Florida Strangler because I want to get it as high as possible. So the Florida Strangler is going to go up top here. We're going to put 2 growth counters on it and 2 more because it is itself a green card. Or it is itself a wet card, a wetland card. That was a total of 8 resource that I needed to spend, which I have. And I get 1 resource back because you activate your abilities after you play your cards. And both of those are even, so that means I have secured Puffin, Tiger, and Chameleon I still need to get. I'm very close to Chameleon, 1 more card, and Tiger, I need a berry bush. I have 1 berry bush. I have 2 potential berry bushes Those two berry bushes are worth more points now, though. But I think I only have... Let's check when game specifically ends. Game ends. Where does it tell me? Until Gaia activates her last turn, at which point her deck is shuffled and reset for the second and final use. The game will end if Gaia's deck is exhausted for the second time, or if you complete your 4x4 tableau. So I think that's it. I think Gaia's going to activate her turn, which is going to be a red, and this will be the last action that all of us take. Gaia is going to gain +8 compost, +1 for each dirt I gain this turn. I'm going to avoid gaining any dirt this turn. I will gain 2 compost then. So 2 compost in. Gaia's already getting 8. So the initial 8, and let's go through our benefits. So could trade a tree for dirt. I'm not going to do that. Trade a tree for dirt. Trade a dirt for cards. Doesn't help me. Dirt for cards. Compost 2 is good for me to do. Dirt for or growth for card does not help me. Man. Wild would allow me to gain dirt, draw a card. None of it. Why are you guys here? 0, 0, 0. You all should be here. This should be here. Okay. It's the end of the game. The question is, did I do well enough? So let's score me first, and then let's score Gaia. And I'm going to grab my phone just so I keep track of everything in the calculator here. So, I'm going to start with, let's grab a player board for scoring. So, base VP on cards, plants, islands, climate. So we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. It's not my best plant score. 1 victory point per plant cube. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1 victory point per composted card. Now, this will get modified, but it won't get modified right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I really wanted to get that to 30 because that would maximize it, but 24 will work. 1 or victory point from growth pieces. None of these are to the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points on growth pieces. Victory point from the fauna board. I'm going to score 15 and 11, which is going to be 26 additional points. Victory point from terrain cards. So, terrain cards I have. Putrefied Land is going to score me an additional 24 points because of my compost pile to a maximum of 30. And Badlands is going to score me an additional 3 points because there's 1 lonely berry bush in that location. Victory points from event cards. I did not play any event cards that cost me points, so I was too careful with that. And victory points from ecosystems. 1 personal and 2 shared. My personal ecosystem is going to score me 20 points because that's the max for the additional compost points. This one is 1 point for every 2 growth on my tableau. Now the question is that the 2 growth symbol or is that the actual 2 growth? And it only specifies if you need the tokens when you don't need them. So this is 2 growth. So 1, 2, 3 additional victory points. Top here, 3 victory points for every 2 cards containing 4 or costing 4 plus dirt. So 1, 2, 3 additional victory points. Oh, that does not feel like 153. All right, let's add up the score for Gaia here and see how close or far away we are. So we have 4, 9, 15, 22, plus, how many in each row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 39, plus 1 for each compost. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Plus the direct points on cards here. 0, 0, 0, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10, 14, 18, 20, 22. Plus the points from this. So 15, 30, 45, 56. 174 to 150 something, I believe. So I was close. I could have been more efficient. I had some leftover dirt here. Yeah, I could have absolutely played that a little bit tighter and had that locked in. Now, I was playing on hard mode, which means I kind of expected to win. There is an expert mode where some of these cards have extra abilities or extra consequences on the bottom, and a beginner and easy mode which start, or a beginner kind of easy and medium mode which start introducing the concept of the game. This was fun. I like this. There is a entire stack of cards that we haven't been through, including a stack that I just didn't put on the table because there's too many cards literally to cycle through when you're playing a solo game. And I am already wanting to sit down and try again because I would like to beat Gaia, at least on camera, for my reputation and all that nonsense. So, thank you for watching. Hopefully this was a good display of the solo mode of this game. This is a fun puzzle. I like how open it is. I like how everything escalates. I already want to sit down and play again. So, I think that's what I'm going to do. Whatever the case, whatever you do, remember to do the important thing. Get out and play some games. We'll see you next time. Thank you.